Imagine waking up at 60 with a full bank account but an empty soul. You worked your whole life, did everything right, followed every step of the rule book, and yet something feels wrong. The promised rest never came. And worse, now you don't even know what to do with it. You realized too late that the freedom you longed for was never a real option, just an illusion carefully wrapped in goals, bonuses, and job titles that kept you running, non-stop. Because the system doesn't want you to stop. It never did. And maybe, deep down, you've also forgotten what it would even feel like if you did. They said earning well was enough, that a good career, a good salary, and a schedule full of commitments would naturally lead to a peaceful life. But what they didn't say, what they never say, is that in this new world model, not even the successful can stop. Rest has become a luxury. Free time, a disguised form of guilt. And work, no matter how profitable, has become an invisible prison, its walls built from goals, recognition, and fear. Work used to be a means to an end. Today, it has become the end itself. It's no longer about how much you earn, but about how much you keep producing. Because stopping, even when you can, is seen as failure. If you're not growing, scaling, hustling, expanding, then you're stagnant, dead inside. Modern society has redefined success as an endless cycle of motion, where every achievement already carries within it the anxiety of the next one. And the cruelest part is that the system has learned to make it feel like a choice. The chains are marketed as opportunities. You can work from anywhere on your own terms, do what you love. But the result is the same. You're always connected, always thinking about the next move, always trying to justify your existence through usefulness. Today, freedom is just another way to stay busy. Even when there's money left over, time is missing. And when there's time, we lack the inner permission to use it without guilt. It's as if we've been programmed to feel undeserving of stopping. That rest must be earned through exhaustion. That pauses need to be justified with burnout. We're trapped in a logic where even rest has become a performance. It must be productive, regenerative, optimized. We live in a society where working well doesn't mean working less. It means working always. Those who reach the top of the mountain realize there's no arrival, only new paths to climb. And coming down, that's almost a sin, because we've learned to fear silence, emptiness, slowness, as if the only way to exist with value were to constantly move towards something, anything. The new trap is more sophisticated because it's no longer imposed by necessity, but by habit. It's not hunger for money, it's hunger for validation. Work has stopped being about survival and become an identity. Without it, who are we? Who are you when you're not chasing something? And so, even with a full bank account, we remain slaves to a system that replaced iron chains with performance goals. A system that smiles while pushing us into a pace that allows no real stops. Only brief breaths before we dive back into the eternal race. What does it mean to be free in a society where everything is designed to keep us busy? They say we have choice, that we are the authors of our own destiny. But the truth is that most of the decisions we make are shaped by invisible conditioning. From an early age, we learn that value is directly tied to usefulness, and that free time, without economic or social purpose, is wasted time. Little by little, we lose the ability to simply exist. We feel the need to always be doing something that justifies our presence in the world. Eternal work isn't just an economic imposition. It's an existential mutation. It colonizes identity. The question, what do you do, replaces who are you as the entry point to any human interaction. And when doing becomes the center of existence, being is pushed to the margins. Silence becomes uncomfortable. Contemplation, a threat. Emptiness, a system error. We've built a world where there's only room for movement, for constant progress, for the hero's narrative that never stops, even after the victory. This logic drains meaning from achievement, because the finish line keeps moving. It's never enough. It's never time. You can have more than you ever imagined and still feel like you can't stop. Not because of material need, but because the structure of the world and your mind has been shaped to believe that stopping is giving up. And giving up is a kind of moral failure. The freedom we're promised is, in truth, a prison with walls made of apparent choice. And so, modern success becomes a new form of servitude. Golden, well-paid, but still servitude. An existence where you're always one step away from freedom, yet never allowed to reach it. Because the system no longer needs to force you. It only needs to teach you to desire the right kind of prison and call it fulfillment. You notice it in the small gestures of everyday life. When you feel guilty for taking an afternoon off, when you feel unproductive on a quiet Sunday, when you try to relax but your mind keeps listing unfinished tasks. It's addiction disguised as virtue. It's the inner voice telling you that you could be using your time better, working on something, producing something, selling something, as if taking a break were a silent betrayal of a pact you don't even remember signing. We live surrounded by subtle messages that reinforce this logic. Productivity apps remind us that every minute counts. Social media turns every moment into a stage, every hobby into a portfolio, every space for rest into a personal growth opportunity. Idleness is suspicious. Contemplation is a waste of time. Even leisure must be functional, turned into content, yielding lessons, generating networking. If there's no visible purpose, it doesn't count. And so we go on, running between tasks, celebrating goals, masking exhaustion with coffee and motivational quotes, pretending everything is under control when deep down we're just afraid. Afraid to stop, afraid of the void, afraid of the silence that might reveal that maybe this isn't freedom at all, that maybe we're just too busy to notice the system has worn us down and made the habit feel like choice. In the end, what we call financial freedom may have just become a new form of imprisonment, an ideal that pushes us to work even harder, dream even bigger, run even faster, as if the finish line were just within reach, one more effort away. But the truth is, it always moves, always slips away, because we weren't taught how to stop. We were trained to keep going, even when we already have enough, especially when we already have enough. And maybe that's what's most frightening, realizing that the problem isn't just the system out there, but the programming within us. The fear of free time, the discomfort with emptiness, the anxiety of not producing. Freedom has less and less to do with how much money we have, and more to do with our ability not to be ruled by it. In a world where everyone is running, the one who stops seems crazy. But what if the real madness is to never stop? If this video made you reflect on something you're going through, or have gone through, I invite you to subscribe to the channel.